Hi, it's Craig again, and it's a cold, rainy spring day here in my little corner of Cincinnati. And these kinds of days always get me thinking about things. They get me thinking, like, hey, maybe I should have mowed the lawn this weekend while it was dry. And sure, it was a little cold, but it was dry and I could have gotten it done. Or the fact that now my backyard's going to be a little muddy and I have two big dogs, and that means I'm going to have to wash their paws before they come in. Also has me wondering, is my son going to play his baseball game today? I hope so, because I really enjoy playing him, but more than anything, it gets me thinking about soup, specifically Campbell's soup. And no, I do not have an affiliation with the Campbell's Soup Company. I've been to their headquarters once for some work that I don't even remember if we won or not. I don't think we did. But it gets me thinking about sort of the comfort that goes with soup on a cold day like today, and how Campbell's Soup was a content innovator. The company's been around since 1869, making condensed soups, tomato being famous, chicken and noodle being famous. But in 1941, they did something really, really interesting. After nearly 80 years of making their product, they opened a research kitchen at their facility in Philadelphia, dedicated to the idea that maybe what they were selling was not just the product in the soup, but the experience created with it. In 1941, America was in the early stages of World War II. There were a lot of women home, running households, running businesses, really running the entire economy. And they created recipes. They stopped talking about their product or the product benefits or the quality versus the competition, and they started saying what people are buying is not a ingredient. They're buying a complete meal. How can we help facilitate that complete meal? This is really interesting. It's really, really interesting to a guy like me who's a radical humanist who believes that the attention economy is built by buyers, not sellers, because it was an act of radical humanity and empathy. They thought about their consumers' unmet needs. They thought about the people who are buying their products and what they were going to do with it, not just trying to sell the product. I think about Campbell's soup all the time, not just on particularly dreary gray days in the Ohio River Valley, but I think about it whenever I'm talking to a Marcom manager, an agency lead, somebody with a product who wants to talk about the specs of their products, or they want to talk about the superior quality, superior performance. They want to talk about the benefits, but they leave the benefits vague. I was having a conversation with a friend last week who works in media, and he was saying he has a bunch of software clients who wanted to talk about the technical specs of their software, and he finally convinced them to talk about the benefits. The benefits being it saves you lots of time. It helps automate tasks that are, mind numbing. And I said, that's a good start. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, why don't you talk instead about what people are going to do with that time? Why don't you talk about wanting to be able to have more time to mow the lawn, to play with your dogs, to be able to go to your kid's baseball game, and how this product can help them do that? Why don't you start talking about a complete meal for a family put together quickly in a really, really trying, scary time, as opposed to the contents of the can? Content marketing, we talked about yesterday. I believe that stories are what people buy. They purchase products, but they buy a story. And by talking about the end goal for the user, by understanding their lives and needs so much that they can tell a story that helps them aspire to that life and believe that you can be a part of that journey and doing it earnestly and honestly, well, that's just content gold, isn't it? The most interesting story that anybody will invest themselves in is one that they see themselves being a part of, even if they never get there. Even if putting together dinner is never that easy. Even if you are constantly having to find time to mow your lawn or play with your dogs or get to a baseball game. The story that I tell myself that I can be the guy with the perfect lawn who gets to enjoy the dogs and never miss a game is the most important one to me. As you're thinking about putting together your content marketing, stop thinking about yourself. Follow Campbell's example. Think about your audience's need. Think about what their outcome is and focus on that. I promise you may not have as many eyeballs as a catchy headline or some sort of pithy how-to guide. You may not be able to put in front of your shareholders, hey, these are our product benefits and isn't it great? But the people who do have that story are going to resonate with it a whole lot more. And the next time they go to the grocery aisle, they're not going to think about buying a soup that isn't Campbell's. because Campbell's understood their audience. It's just a thought. We'll be back for more, hopefully on a sunnier day, and maybe outside. We'll see. Thanks.